So, hello guys. Today we will learn about static. Means actually what is static in the programming and like where to use it, how to use it. So, the first question arises: what is static? So, static means static nothing but the data means metadata. So, now question comes: what is metadata? Static means metadata. So what is metadata? Metadata means data about data. Means the data which is related to the class. The data which is related to the class, not related to an object. So such kind of the data about data, we can say we can make such kind of fields as a static field. So mm, let's say we have a class. Means let's say we have class uh, Honda City. So Honda City, it's let's say it's an a class of a car company which is Honda City. So when I write static int price, so the price the price belongs to Honda City, means the price belongs to that class. The price does not belong to any object, because for that same class, or let's say for that same company, the car price is constant. Means for each and every model, the car price is constant, means which we can say static, and which will be shared by all the objects of that class. Let's say I have created object HC1 or HC2. So for all this object, the static the for all this object, that price will be static. So means what is mean by static? Static data members belong to a class, and they can be shared by all objects of a class. So here h1 as well as h2 can share this static data member. So then the question arises, where do it stored in the memory? So the static data member will get stored into the method area, which is common and which is shared by all the objects. So which the static data members and the static methods will get stored inside the method area. So now we let's say and So now let's look at the example about the static data members. So here I have written one simple class, which is class demo. So here I have first taken x variable, which is a non-static. So the non-static variable belongs to an object. It is not belongs to a class, and it is public static int y. This static variable belongs to a class. So whenever we perform any operation, so let's say if we have any data, so for that data which is related to class, so for that we can use a static variable. And if we want to perform some calculations, or we have to perform some computation, so at that time we can use a static method. So static method will be therefore if you want to perform any computations. So and the static method can access only static member of a class. Static method cannot access a non-static member of a class. So why is this like that? Because the static members belongs to a class. If a static method tries to access a non-static member of a class, so whenever we will create an object, we create a different objects of a one class. So in that different object, there is a different non-static data variables. So it will get confused when we create objects. So actually, objects which objects variable we should access. So that's why static static method can only access the static data members of a class. They cannot access a non-static data members of a class. And inside the static method, we cannot use the keywords like this and super, because we cannot use this and super because these keywords are belongs to an objects. These keywords doesn't belong to a class. So we cannot use them. This and supercode. It is object specifics, not class specific. We can access the static variables and static methods by using the class name. Here let's say my class name is demo. So if I want to access the static variable which is y here, so I can access it using the class name system.out.println demo.y, and we can access it using class name as well as we can access it also using an object of a class. And we can also access the static methods as well using the class name as well as the object which we create of that class. So and we if we modify let's say here is my variable y and my both objects d1 and d2. This both objects shares the common static variables. This both objects shares the static variables commonly. Let's say I will create 100 objects of the same class, so that all the 100 object will share the static variables. So that's why I'll say class. The statics can be shared by all objects of a class. Let's say if I modify y values to 100, so whenever all the objects are going to access this y, so each and every object will get 100, because if the modify ones, because they are common, they all are shared by all objects, that static variables.